I'm going to talk about another categorization of nouns. In my previous video, I talked about nouns. Nouns in general refers to a person, place, thing, or an animal. Apart from that, nouns refers to sometimes qualities, ideas, attitudes. We can call them action names, for example, like gerunds. So nouns means a big umbrella term in English language. Mainly, nouns can be categorized as proper nouns and common nouns. So what are proper nouns? Proper nouns are specific reference to like, it's like this. So I can call it like this. Proper nouns are a reference for specific person, place, thing, or an animal. Proper nouns are always capitalized. That means we always use a capital letter in front of a proper noun. We always capitalize letters at the beginning of a proper noun. So let's move to common nouns. So common nouns is a little bit different. It refers to any person, any place, anything, or any animal. Apart from that, ideas also fall into the category of common nouns. Ideas like, what are the examples for ideas like bravery, enthusiasm, happiness, attitudes? So those words also comes under common nouns. Common noun is a member of a general class, for example, like girl, boy, dog. It's a general name. It is not the name for a specific or unique person, thing, place, or an animal. So we do not begin with a capital letter. That means we do not capitalize common nouns, except we use that common noun at the beginning of a sentence. So common nouns, we do not capitalize them unless we use that common noun at the beginning of the sentence. For example, if we use the noun girl in the middle of the sentence, we do not capitalize the noun girl. We do not capitalize the letter G. But if we use that common noun girl at the beginning of a sentence, girls are lovely. So that girls, in that noun, G should be capitalized. These are the things that we have to keep in our mind. So when we write sentences, we can stay without making any mistakes. So we capitalize proper nouns, but we do not capitalize common nouns, except we use that common noun in front of a sentence. So we can categorize common nouns into different subcategories. Common noun is a big group, so to make it easy to understand, English grammarian, they categorize the common nouns. They categorize common nouns into different subcategories. So let's move on to that subcategorization. So let's look at the whiteboard. Common nouns. We can categorize common nouns into different subcategories. In my previous video, I put these three into one group, but I thought it's better to change a little bit to give you a clear idea about common nouns. So let's look at the whiteboard one more time. Collective nouns, you can divide them as concrete nouns and abstract nouns, and then we can divide common nouns into countable nouns, uncountable or mass nouns, and two-way nouns, count and mass. So next one is the singular and plural nouns. I told you earlier I did a small change to this categorization. I thought it's better to put these three into two different subcategorizations. This one I'm going to talk about collective nouns as an individual subcategorization, and I'm going to talk about concrete and abstract noun as my second subcategorization. I strongly believe that it will help you to get a clear idea about common nouns. So this is the subcategorization of common nouns. Okay, let's move to the subcategory of our common nouns, collective nouns. So what are collective nouns? A collective noun is a noun that represent a collection of individuals. So for example, we can say mob of cattle. So that represent the group of cattle. Okay, so most of the time collective nouns are considered as singular as they show one entity. For example, let's look at the whiteboard and let's take the first example, herd of buffaloes. So herd of buffaloes means it's a one individual group, buffalo group, and it's one entity. That's why I told you most of the time in American English they consider collective nouns as singular nouns. So if you use a collective noun in a sentence, so the verb, most of the time the verb is a singular one. But there are some exceptions. I just want to give the basic idea of collective nouns. So let's look at the whiteboard. Herd of buffaloes. You can say herd of bisons, herd of cattle. I saw a herd of buffaloes yesterday when I was walking to school. So let's take the second example. Pack of cards. We use a pack of cards to play with our friends. Pack of wolves, pack of dogs. Let's move to the third one. Flock of birds, flock of sheep, flock of goats. I see a flock of goats every day when I come to work. So let's move to the other one. Swarm of bees. I stepped on a swarm of bees. That's scary, isn't it? I stepped on a swarm of bees. So they are going to bite me. They're going to sting me. Right. Let's look at the other example. Shoal of fish. I saw a nice shoal of fish. So we can use another collective noun to the fish group or the fish entity. school of fish. So shoal of fish and school of fish. Let's move to the last one. Gang of robbers. That's a very scary term. Gang of robbers. The police caught a gang of robbers last night when they were trying to steal some goods from a shop. So, gang of robbers. I can give you lots of examples apart from this. Let's look at the whiteboard before I move on to the other section. Herd of buffaloes, herd of bisons, herd of cattle, pack of carts, pack of wolves, pack of dogs. So you can go through the other ones very leisurely. I gave you lots of examples for collective nouns. I will give you more examples for that. So if you take about some fruit, think about grapes. So what is the collective noun you can use for grapes? You can use bunch of grapes. More than that, you can use bunch of bananas. If you take keys, bunch of keys. When we take the word pile, pile of stones, pile of rubbish, heap of stones. So when you think about the word set of rules, there are set of rules that we have to follow in our school. I can see a big stack of books near the table. Stack of books. Series of. What are the words that we can use with series of? The word series of books, series of movies. So sometimes we can use shower of rain. So there are lots of ways that we can use collective nouns. Usually, we can use words like group, staff, jury, crew. What else we can use? We'll think. Panel, board of people, panel of judges. We can use those words to describe a group of people, maybe professionally skilled people, or maybe sharing same kind of ideas. So these kind of words we can use for that. So there are lots of ways to use collective nouns. As I told you earlier, normally we think collective nouns as a singular word, singular noun. But there are some exceptions. I'm not going to talk about that in this video because I don't want to make this video so complicated for you. I will talk about them in my future videos. So I hope that you got a good knowledge about collective nouns. I'm hoping to do another video on countable and uncountable noun, singular and plural noun. I will talk more about mass nouns also. So in future videos, I'm hoping to do all these things about common nouns. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'm planning to see you again in another video. Bye for now.